Good morning, at least it's morning here right now. It is an absolutely gorgeous spring morning. Thanks for joining me. Now, since my last video was all about preparations for our Arizona trip, and this video is going to be about the return, I wanted to take a few minutes and share some of the highlights of the trip with you. Now, I did make a couple videos along the way, and I'll post links to those in the description below. In February, we took the camper down to Quartzsite, Arizona for a 5-day truck camper rally. It was still winter, cold and rainy at home, and the weather was so nice down there, we decided to be snowbirds and stay in Arizona for a while. That's a beautiful breakfast in the desert right there. We traveled as far south as Yuma. That's right on the Mexican border. We're walking through downtown Yuma, actually Old Town Yuma, Arizona. Then we stopped at the Cibola National Wildlife Refuge, kind of slowly making our way north along the Colorado River. In Parker, we drove a very rough dirt road out into the desert to the Nellie E Saloon, the desert bar. Next, we stopped at Lake Havasu because we wanted to see the London Bridge again, and we took kind of a real quick cruise around the lake. Oatman is a very touristy little place out in the desert, and we wanted to see the burros walking right through the middle of town. We stopped in Laughlin because I'd never been there before. It's kind of a very tiny Las Vegas. Next, we stopped in Valley of Fire State Park. What an amazing and beautiful place. You gotta go there if you ever get a chance. Then we stopped in Las Vegas, partly because it was right on our way, but we really wanted to see the new Sphere, and of course, drive down the strip to see all the lights at night. Then we spent almost a week in Death Valley. It's one of our favorite places, and we wanted to see the huge lake at Badwater Basin from all the rain this year. Then a couple nights in the spectacular Alabama hills near Lone Pine. We'd only recently heard of it and didn't know exactly where it was until we got there. We felt so lucky to have a camping spot there with this amazing view of Mount Whitney. We drove back home, dodging the snow over Donner Pass after visiting friends and family in the Reno area. I am home. We got home yesterday, late afternoon, and just really didn't do much but take the food out of the refrigerator and bring it in the house. And then it was martini time. Spent this kind of windy, spent the morning inside of my desk mostly, going through the mail and kind of generally just getting a slow start. Did my morning workout again. I took kind of an easy workout. I'll build back up to it since I really haven't done a thing the whole trip. What I really need to do now is get the rest of the camper unloaded. Diane got all her stuff out, her clothes and different things. So I want to haul out all the rest of the food, all the dry goods, and get all the dishes out and run those through the dishwasher since we've just been washing them in the camper for 6 weeks. But before I do that, I want to get out and have a look at the garden here. Hi, bud. How you doing? Wow, the pasture is just beautiful. It's always so green this time of year, but I don't irrigate, so it's going to start going brown in a few weeks or so. And the boat cover support system I made up held up really well. I'll link the video to it in the description. Well, we were gone for 6 weeks. I'm really not sure what to expect out here. Okay. Well, at first glance, it all looks pretty good. Some of the stuff's kind of unchanged. Looking in here in this cold frame, the radishes went a little crazy, and it looks like a lot of that cilantro went to seed, but it's been in there a while. I kind of expected that. Everything else looks good. The lettuce I planted earlier from nursery starts, it just got old, and some of it burned up a little bit, but the new stuff looks good. The stuff I planted from seed. Soft neck garlic, nice. Definitely got some weeds to pull, but it's not out of control. And it is winter after all, so the weeds don't go too crazy. But here in the cold frame, those radishes went kind of crazy too. But I think they'll still be all right. Maybe I've just been too impatient on them. I'm pulling them earlier than I need to. I got some nice big ones in there. Everything looks good here. Those are the elephant garlic, white onions, red onions. Definitely some weeds here too, but gosh, I think in a couple hours I could probably get all the weeds managed. Well, it's getting kind of late in the afternoon, but I got to get the camper emptied today, so tomorrow morning I can take it off my truck and get the lumber rack back on. There's Cash. Hi, buddy. Come here. Are you happy to be home? Huh? I think you're happy to be home. There's Brownie right over there too. I know she's happy we're home. We had some friends had a big automatic feeder. Had some friends coming to check on her, so she did just fine. Hi, Brownie cat. Meow. Meow. All right, time to get to it. All right, I just want to have a quick look inside the shop before I finish emptying the camper. I gotta warn you though, it's not going to be pretty. I was really just using it as kind of a dumping ground in the last frantic hour spent trying to get on the road on time. But this is a project for another day. Right now, I want to get the camper finished so I can take it off my truck tomorrow. It's a little cool, but it's bright. It looks like the sun's trying to break through a little bit, so I think I have time. It's still a pretty big mess in here. I haven't even gotten to cleaning this part out yet. You can see we kind of let the place go a little bit. Of course, some of that in the back there, that's actually where we stored that stuff as we drove. There just wasn't room anywhere else to put it. I think the first thing I'll do is I want to drain the water tank. I might as well get this as light as possible before I start trying to unload it. Now, there's not a lot of water in the tank. We let it run down as we were getting near the end of the trip, but I still don't want to dump it right here where it'll become even a muddier mess. It can't hurt to just kind of funnel it off somewhere else. I got this little contraption here I just put together with a piece of pipe and some clear tubing. Now, while that's draining, it always takes a little while because even though there's not that much water in it, it just comes out fairly slowly. I'm gonna go ahead and get these turnbuckles off. Remember, the camper is really just sitting in my truck. It's not bolted down or anything. We just have these turnbuckles, 4 of them, one in each door of the camper. That's kind of keeping it from flying out of there. It took me a while to get used to that when I first loaded it. Okay, get those 2 off the other side, but then the water should be drained. Get it right off of there. That's it. That one all right. Now get the sawhorses under it and slowly lower it down onto them. The first few raindrops are just starting to fall, but I think I got it. Beautiful, that's it. It's on the sawhorses. This does get easier as time goes by. Well, it looks like the rain's holding off for a while still. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get the, I'm gonna try to get the lumber rack back on the truck before it starts raining. It's got to go back on anyway. And over there is the Lexus. I had one of the battery maintainers on it as well, but I don't know if it wasn't plugged in well enough or what was going on, because it didn't really hook up. So the battery is dead in this thing, and I can't reach it with my jumper cables with the lumber rack in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead, try to get the lumber rack on the truck. That way I can reach in with my jumper cables, get this thing started, moved out of the way, and then just keep going with unloading all the junk in the pickup truck. See how it goes. it is. Got to move a bunch of stuff out of the back seat because my jumper cables are underneath and I can't even begin to reach it yet. Everything went great. I kicked butt this morning. Now it's lunchtime and I'm so ready to have lunch. And best of all, I beat the rain. A few sprinkles, but it wasn't bad.